Breaking news, two LA County sheriffs were shot and are in critical condition. They were sitting in their vehicle and someone decided to approach the vehicle and open fire into the car through the passenger side window. There's video of it on Twitter. And if that wasn't bad enough, there are now protesters trying to break into the hospital where the officers are being held in critical condition. This is one of the articles from Newsweek released on the matter titled "LA Protesters Try to Break into Hospital Where Two Officers Are in Critical Condition After a Cowardly Shooting." If you look at the LA County Sheriff post, this one's titled "Update: The gunman walked up on the deputies and opened fire without warning or provocation." You can see here that whoever this is just approaches the car, opens fire, and then runs away. There's speculation that the person has like a small head, so it might be a kid. Some are saying it might be a gang initiation. No one knows. It's all speculation at this point. But it's really sad. It's disgusting. I think it's appropriate to call it cowardly, like in this headline. You just walk up and open fire on police officers. And regardless of the reasoning, I mean, this just adds into the division that's occurring in the country. This article goes on to say, two Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies are fighting for their lives after they were shot multiple times at point-blank range in an ambush, authorities said. Crowds of protesters blocked the entrance to St. Francis Medical Center in Linwood, where the wounded officers were in a critical condition, police said. Some protesters chanted, "We hope they die." The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office said on Twitter, a witness told ABC7 that some had tried to break into the hospital's emergency room. They chanted, "We hope they die." I mean, these people are disgusting. They're sick in the head. They're just absolutely sick in the head. And it's all because the media keeps pushing this fake narrative that, black people are being shot en masse by law enforcement when they're not. We've looked at the data plenty of times. It's just, I can't believe that people are this sick. Two law enforcement officers sworn into duty to protect and serve, who we don't know anything about right now. For all we know, these are like the most outstanding citizens ever that were in an area where people were willing to commit these types of atrocious acts, like open fire on two law enforcement officers. And then people have the nerve to go and protest at their hospital, block it in, try to break into the emergency room, and then chant, "We hope they die." It's disgusting, really. The shooting happened at around 7 p.m. Saturday at the Metro Blue Line station at Willbrook Avenue and Compton Boulevard, not far from the Compton Sheriff's Station. Oh, well, what do you expect? The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department shared video of the incident, which is what we saw. Shows a person open fire through the passenger side window of the patrol car in Compton. So this happened in Compton. Well, Compton's notorious for having cop haters and violence and gang activity. And I mean, it's, what do you expect? It's in a blue state. It's in a blue city. I wouldn't expect anything less from a Democrat-led city, county, state filled with poverty and people struggling, so crime's high. And now they're trying to defund the police. So what happens when the police aren't there and then acts like this occur on people that aren't law enforcement? What happens when someone decides to just go up to a family in a vehicle because, I don't know, maybe they're not the right skin color and they open fire on them? I mean, I feel like that's where these things are heading now. It's disgusting, really, and it's sad. I pray this stuff ends and that we get through this peacefully. We shouldn't be divided as a nation. We should come together as Americans and work together to build a great country, a good economy, lower crime, get rid of this evil mentality of division. The department tweeted, moments ago, two of our sheriff deputies were shot in Compton and were transported to a local hospital. They're both still fighting for their lives, so please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. The gunman walked up on the deputies and opened fire without warning or provocation. The department added the suspect remains at large. So here's some of the tweets from the LA County Sheriff's. Update: one male deputy and one female deputy were ambushed as they sat in their patrol vehicle. Both sustained multiple gunshot wounds, are in critical condition. They're both currently undergoing surgery. The suspect is still at large. So a male and female officer were shot unsuspected by some evil human, and they're still at large. So we've seen that video. Sheriff Alex Villanueva said in a news conference on Saturday night that a 31-year-old female deputy and 24-year-old male deputy both underwent surgery on Saturday evening and remain in critical condition. The female deputy is a mother to a 6-year-old boy, Villanueva said. Both deputies had graduated from the academy 14 months ago. Wow, you're not even a year and a half into your job and you get ambushed by this horrible human that just tries to take your life for no reason. There's absolutely zero reason for this to have occurred. The deputies from the department's Transit Service Bureau were parked adjacent to the 101 East Palmer Street across from the station. When the suspect approached from behind, Captain Kent Wagner said. He said the deputies were facing southbound and the shooter came from the north. He walked along the passenger side of the car. He acted as if he was going to walk past the car, and then he made a left turn directly toward the car, raised the pistol, and fired several rounds inside of the vehicle, striking both of the sheriff's deputies. The suspect then fled north, and the injured deputies were able to radio for help, he said. Wagner said officials only had a very generic description of the suspect from one of the wounded deputies on Saturday evening, that it was a dark-skinned male. I mean, I don't even want to, was it a gang initiation? Was it part of the BLM protest? It's just interesting that if somebody attacks a police officer, threatens a police officer's life, has a firearm, and the police officers react and it ends up in a fatal shooting on a suspect that was fighting law enforcement, there'll be riots for that. Now, some degenerate evil human opens fire on 2 innocent police officers and they still riot. It's like, you riot for that too? It's like they just want to riot. And then you go to the hospital of all places. Think of all the other people in the hospital that you're like affecting. And then you chant that you want the officers to, like, how sick are you? How absolutely disgusting of a human being are you? The article continues, but essentially, this is the tweet that we saw earlier from the LA County Sheriffs. Donald Trump writes in a post that he tweeted, if they die, referring to the police officers, fast trial, death penalty for the killer, only way to stop this. There you go. Donald Trump basically is like, if these officers die, we're going to find whoever did this, and it's just a death penalty. Now, this happened in California, so chances are if they do get the death penalty, they'll be sitting there for 20 to 30 years before it ever actually happens, with tons of appeals and all sorts of attempts at getting off in the appeals court. But I don't know. How do you feel about that? You feel death penalty for the killer if the officers die? What if the officers don't die? I mean, I think life in prison's already like on the table, you know? I feel like that's totally warranted. But then this couldn't have, basically Donald Trump summarizes it perfectly in this tweet that I'm reading. He writes, I'm running for re-election to bring prosperity to Nevada, to put violent criminals behind bars, and to ensure the future belongs to America, not China. If we win, America wins. If Biden wins, China wins. If Biden wins, the rioters, anarchists, and arsonists win. Vote #MAGA. I mean, if there's no other reason to vote for Trump than it is just to get rid of these nutbags that are just flying around everywhere, driving the cities into chaos around the country. They're rioting. They're now firing at law enforcement. They killed other protesters. They attack and try to kill another person that was trying to help out in Kenosha, who then results in self-defense, Kyle Rittenhouse. They just look for excuses to riot and steal and burn down buildings. It's like they have fun out there playing war, and it's just escalating. They're taking it a step further every time, and it's just getting further and further. Now we're to a point where innocent law enforcement are being fired upon and having someone attempt to take their life just for sitting in a squad car trying to protect their city. But that's who we're dealing with. These people are psychos. They're psychopaths. They're sick. They're disgusting. They're trying to break into emergency rooms and chanting, I hope they die. They want death. They want violence and destruction because they're sick and evil people. Don't let them win. We have the power to vote, and this is a perfect reason to not let the left win. They will continue to destroy this country and cause more division and more issues. Anyways, that's all I have for this. So until next time, God bless.